Penguin Random House Audio presents The Savage Noble Death of Babs Dionne by Ron Currie. Read for you by Lisa Flanagan. For my grandmother, Rita Talbot Currie, 1930 to 1992. And for her mother, Rose Talbot, 1910 to 1973. And for her mother, Apolline Lapierre Talbot, 1876 to 19... we don't know. And for her mother, Selina Lapierre, 1843 to 1900. And for her mother, Rose Cormier Lapierre, 1815 to 1894. And so on, until the very beginning. Je vous aime et je me souviens de vous. We have to live in English. It's impossible to live in French. This is the secret thought of the Canuck in America. Jean-Louis Le Bris de Kerouac, La vie est dommage. I am the prophecy. I did not come from nothing, and nothing came from me. I took your name in vain. I burnt your effigy. Idols. Car crash. Part 1. Prelude. 1668 to 1968. Think of generations as a chain. One link leading to and binding the next, and all of them, even the most distant, forever connected and inseparable. Forget about ancestors the way we usually talk of them, as if they are somehow less real than we are. Those who came before are not footnotes to the very important life you're living now. They are real people, and still. They breathe through you. They bleed and cry and dance, pull their rotten teeth with pliers sanitized in bootleg rye. They plow fields and pray for rain. They sing their children's songs at night. Frère Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous. They clutch their sheets in fever. They run great machines that make cloth and paper for the whole world. They fight in wars. They tell lies. They sit awake long after everyone they love has fallen asleep, a hand-rolled cigarette pinched between their fingers, waiting in desperation for first light, eternally. Their ghosts are all around you, clamoring to be seen and heard like Marley rattling his chains. And like Marley, they have things to teach you. So, think of them all as yourself. A single entity spanning centuries, finding its current but by no means final iteration in you. Once, for example, you were a woman named Evangeline Lenormand, Parisian orphan, ward of the church, survivor and cynic. You came to Nouvelle-France in 1667. Many of the girls who traveled with you believed the promises the priests had made. Handsome husbands of noble birth, the riches of the new world theirs for the asking. But you knew better. The boat smelled of shit and wet rot, rolling for months over endless waves. After the first week, both passengers and crew began to get sick, clawing at rashes and grabbing their skulls in agony. You waited your turn, watching as 10 of the other filles du roi died, their corpses wrapped in cotton cloth, given a box-check blessing and dropped overboard. A dozen others went insane with fever. Yet you somehow remained healthy. Dumb luck. Though whether this luck was good or bad, considering how things would turn out, was debatable. By the time the ship docked in Quebec, there were 21 girls left, each still somehow convinced that fortune smiled broadly as they promenaded off the ship. Then there was you, pulling up the rear and dragging your chest through the mud, trusting no one to carry it but yourself. The other girls went fast, married and pregnant and drying beaver skins before you could say tabarnak. In a place where men outnumbered women 8-1 and winter lasted 6 months of the year, it was inevitable someone would claim you. His name was Joshua Currie. He traded tools for furs with the Mi'kmaq, and because he was Scottish, you did not understand him, and he did not understand you. As was his right, he took your trousseau and the 50 livres, and when the money was gone, he left you in the fall of 1673, with 2 daughters, Dominique and Madeleine. 100 years after that, you were Madeleine's great-granddaughter, Amy, your hair an unruly black corona just like the women before you, and as with the women before you, men were drawn by that hair and the desire to tame it. You did your part to resist the British by cutting 2 redcoats who thought they could take what they wanted from a Canadienne whore without paying. English-speaking Protestants ruled now, people who hid their prejudice and evil intent behind proper manners. The lies began anew. The same lies they'd told the Acadians before burning their farms and scattering them to the wind. Lies they would tell again and again to all you wild-haired Frenchwomen still to come. You can keep your pope. You can keep your customs and your language. We will not kill you. We will not drive you out. We will not herd you into ghettos and let diseases burn. We will treat you as equals. We will not tar and feather your priests. We will not rape you. We will not, for generation upon generation, make your lives miserable, and then harumph at society dinners when you behave as miserable people do. And so, after 200 more years of lies, you were Barbara Levesque, the 8th great-granddaughter of Evangeline Lenormand. Everyone called you Babs. The year was 1968, and at 14 years old you had a head of hair as black and round and gravity-defying as Evangeline's had been centuries before. You lived in Waterville, Maine, and had never known the Quebec of your forebears, because your grandfather, Leonard Levesque, had traveled by train to Waterville in 1918, braving the Spanish flu and the Klan to work at the Hollingsworth and Whitney paper mill. Leonard and his 10 sons, including your father, André, all worked at H&W, and between them had lost 4 fingers, a right hand at the wrist, and most of a right foot to the mill's pitiless grinding machinery. That accounting did not include your father's youngest brother, Paul, who was crushed from the knees down when a picker pulled the wrong stick from a pile of spruce logs in the H&W lumber yard, and the whole thing came rolling down in an avalanche of timber. Paul had been paid $2,000 apiece for his legs, and used the money to open Levesque's Variety on the corner of Water and King Streets in the heart of Little Canada, the low-lying neighborhood that always flooded first when the river jumped its banks in spring. The neighborhood where French was spoken on every street corner. The neighborhood you called home. That February, your brother Jean had traveled home from Da Nang in a flag-draped casket, the first of your family buried in Waterville's St. Francis Cemetery, which was not its own cemetery at all, but just a back lot in the larger Protestant graveyard. The Catholics were granted 6 acres of crabgrass at the edge of a hill where people dumped their trash. And from Jean's grave that summer, you could see one rusty corner of a discarded washing machine poking up over the crest of the hill. That April, Martin Luther King had been shot in the head like your brother. And now it was June, and Bobby Kennedy had just been shot in the head too. And though the country heaved and burned, you were preoccupied only with your new summer job, that of minding the register at Levesque's Variety from 8 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon, each weekday. A reality of life for Franco business owners like your uncle was that the Waterville police took whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted. A plain, long-standing fact about which no one complained if they were smart. Beat cops carried the keys to every store, hotel, and car dealership in town, ostensibly to do inspections and investigate reports of break-ins. Except, more often than not, they were the ones breaking in. Their larceny ran the gamut from petty to profound. Sandwiches from LaCroix's Hamburger Haven, Mary Jane's for their daughters from La Verdiere's clothing. The past 2 years, a rumor had circulated that a shift sergeant had opened the gate at Boucher Marine and driven off with a brand new Carver runabout, 225 horse.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?